What's up YouTube, Awesome Hugo here, and today I'm here with a recap of my nationals. I got top 32, lost out against Burning Abyss. After losing my first two matches against Joshua Osters, the runner-up of nationals, the eventual runner-up, and against another Nekroz player, also part of the Dutch elite card gaming crew. So I went X2 after 2 rounds. Pretty much had to win everything else to make it to top 32, so I ended up after Swiss in 20th place and made it to top 32. But yeah, it was definitely not the beginning I was hoping for, but eventually I was able to get this, in my opinion, gorgeous mat and these sleeves, which I absolutely love. I am Dutch, of course. Orange is our color, and these are orange sleeves, which... yeah, I love these sleeves, so yeah, really cool to get a pack of those. I believe there's 70 of these, but in one of these packs, but they might have, because it looks a bit thinner, might have just go with 40 or 50, I don't know how much, but I have 2 of these, so that should be enough if I want to sleeve something with it. Yeah, but I was playing Shaddolls, didn't got any testing in pretty much, so I'm going to show you the deck list, but I'll tell you how it went and everything. I definitely did not, how do you say that, appreciate how the deck ran for me. So I definitely would not run the list I'll be showing you right now, because it didn't work for me at all. But I'll get into that in detail a bit more when I show you some of these cards. But yeah, overall the venue was amazing where we were. We got free lunch. We got a lot of free stuff, so yeah, it was really cool. And the tournament, the players there, everything was pretty chill. So yeah, that's awesome. I had a great experience. It was kind of stressful losing out the first 2 rounds, but yeah, whatever. So the deck list real quick right now. Double Shaddoll Beast. Never really considered running 3, or I did kind of, like I said, hadn't really done a lot of testing with it. But the only reason I would consider running 3 was because of the Shaddoll mirror match, but I felt really confident with it. I actually ended up playing 3, and I really bodied all 3 of those, to be honest, without even drawing good or decent pretty much in 2 of those rounds, actually. But yeah. Shaddoll actually was the most represented deck, just like in German nationals, so Shaddoll was even more represented than Nekroz. So in that regard, you might have considered playing 3 of these, but two actually is enough. Yeah, if you don't simply go like mathematician to send Squamata, send this to draw the 1 card. You know, if you play more conservatively, then 2 is definitely enough. Double Squamata, so I dropped the 3rd one, which I ran in Bochum, so I could make room for the 2nd dragon, which we'll see in a second. There was a lot of rogue decks. Dragon was another out, so you had still the 4 monster outs for the Jinlock. Dragon is an out against the Jinlock as well, of course, just like Squamata is. But I felt like Dragon was a bit more appropriate for the rogue decks, and definitely the Shaddoll or the Clifford matchup was by far the most difficult matchup. I ended up playing 2 Cliffords. Won both of those 2. My losses were Burning Abyss, Decklist already on my channel, and Nekroz, 1 Nekroz player. Those were my only 2 losses. So, and of course in the top code, Burning Abyss again, but I'll get into that later as well. But yeah, 2 Squamata, so I could run 2 Dragon. Double Hatchcock, still definitely an important card. Double Valko, I definitely still don't like 3. Definitely, I break a lot. Like, it's stupid how often I break. With this decks, it's kind of my fault because I did run an inconsistent build, which I'll go into as well. But even with 2, I opened Valko too much, where it's just, I couldn't get any use out of it. Didn't have any fusions, for example, and then Valko is just a card in your hand. You have to have something else before you can get use out of this, because when you just set this with nothing in your grave and they run over it, it's gone. So that's absolutely terrible. And when you're playing 3 Falco, you're going to get that even more often. And 2 is enough. You're recycling it that much. And I dropped the Sinister Shadow games. When you're playing Sinister Shadow games, I guess you can play triple Falco. But I dropped that out of the main deck, so 2 absolutely fine for me right now. And then, like I said, the 2 dragons. So I believe that's just 10 Shaddolls, 2 of each, which was fine. I had no problem with the Shaddoll engine. Double Mathematician, definitely not a problem with it as well. Mathematician, I cut the 3rd one because it's a terrible opening card. Because when you normal summon a Mathematician, you're pretty much guaranteed to keep a card in your hand against Nekroz, which means they can trish you, which is terrible. So, and since you're pretty much all the time want to go second with this deck, if you're able to go second, you're going to go second. Let's just put it like that. That makes Mathematician a bit worse as well. So 2 is fine. I wouldn't be running 3 right now, and this is actually one of the few things that actually work for me. Then the Seraph Engine, and here's where the trouble began. So I completely dedicated my deck to the Seraph Engine, to be honest. I never opened stick chair. I opened double chair once and triple chair once. I've opened multiple scepters, and I never got the combo. So I was running triple Call of the Haunted, which we'll see in a second, which made a normal summon this actually pretty strong because you get this, you set your call, when this gets destroyed you call this back and you get another one of this, so then you can go do the combo, but I never opened it, and the chairs absolutely bricked both days, absolutely terrible. So I like the engine because it makes sure worse matchups a lot better. Clear forward any rogue decks. The Shaddoll mirror match can become an auto win if you have this, but it's only really bad against Nekroz, and even how I played it in theory, it's pretty good against Nekroz. But like I said, my theory didn't work out at all, and I didn't have the time to test, so I went purely on theory, and it absolutely blew up in my face. So whether or not I'd be running this again, since now I've played 2 events, a total of 20 rounds, I think, 19 or 20 rounds, and that is like at least 40 matches, you know, or 40 games. And out of 40 games, I never opened stick and chair. That's just stupid. That shouldn't happen, I feel like. I mean, I'm pretty sure the math isn't in my favor in that instance. I'm not going to do the math right now, but I feel like that's not how it's supposed to go. Triple Effect Veiler, this is still absolutely awesome. Nothing to say with that. Veiler worked great. That didn't actually get to use Veiler that much, just for the effect, but it's a light target, you know, it's always good in hand, so you can go into Construct. Never had a problem with that. BLS, only drew this once, but it instantly won me the game. I just could straight out OTK when I drew this, and yeah, in theory, of course, you should draw it more, and when you draw it more, it's pretty much always live, and it's an absolute boss. So no reason to cut this. I don't have a complaint except for that I didn't see it enough. And then last 2 monsters, double Krista. Now let me tell you a bit about Krista. So this is a fairy, and you can summon it with 4 fairies in hand or in grave, and your Star Seraphs are fairy and Construct is fairy as well. That never came up, so I never got to summon this by having 4 fairies. That's one. Another thing you can do is fusion. So this breaks in my hand pretty much. Other thing you can do, summoning this, because she can just special summon Krista by other effects, is fusioning this away, either by Shaddoll Fusion or El Shaddoll Fusion, even from the decking theory with Shaddoll Fusion. When it's in the grave, you can Call of the Haunted her back, or Soul Charge her back, or even defusion her back when you've used it for Construct, and put Krista on the field, which means you and your opponent cannot special summon, which is pretty much a bigger Jin lock, 2800, and it should help with just pushing for game right then and there. Never came up but once in my top 16 match. I didn't have the right combination of cards to ever get this live, and pretty much just break my hand all the time. So I've seen deck profiles of people running similar builds, even with triple Krista, and they were going, yeah, this is MVP and shit, and the Star Seraphs are just broken as fuck and shit. I I don't believe it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm just going to, yeah, it's just like that. They're either the luckiest bastards in the world or I'm the unluckiest bastard in the world, but it didn't come up, and I would never ever run this again because it's... I mean, I probably, if I would have tested it, I would have found out that this wouldn't work for me because I then wouldn't be drawing or resolving it as well, and then I just would have caught it on forehand. But right now I have to deal with it at the championship because I didn't test. Another advice: if you can, please test before you go to a big tournament. It should really help. So yeah, my advice is don't run this out of personal experience right now. It absolutely blew up in my face, and I actually got a game loss because the judges said one of my Kristias was showing in my deck, so you could, like, I don't know, you can see it in the deck from the top of the deck, like here or something. I don't know which one, but one of these two. This one, so it seems it's a bit thicker. So you could stack it or something. Like I said, I constantly break this, so maybe even my opponent stacked me this, just so I couldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, I got a game loss for that, or at least a warning, but I already had a warning because my opponent made a legal play, and I didn't catch on to that quick enough. He activated Mind Crush without any cards in his hands, so we both got a warning there, and then I got a warning because this was showing in my deck. And that's a game loss in top 32, which eventually lost me the game, because I did win game 1, got a game loss for game 2, and lost in overtime in game 3 in the top 32. Yeah, I guess that's what happens. But yeah, there's absolutely no reason to try and stack this. It's absolutely terrible. So yeah, that's the monsters. The spells: triple Shaddoll Fusion and double Shaddoll Fusion. These cards are annoying, you know. I didn't want to run 3 and 3 because then it breaks your hand. But actually with just the 5, it breaks my hand a lot of the times, and at other times I didn't see any. So I didn't have like 1 in every hand or 2 in most hands. I either had like 4 of these or none, which is really annoying. Mostly annoying. I did actually play 2 Burning Abyss, so in that instance Shaddoll Fusion might have been good to play at 3, because against the Burning Abyss matchups I didn't see it. I saw it once against Joshua, but he never let an extra deck monster out, so this was basically like it would be against anything that doesn't have an extra deck monster. What decent Burning Abyss players, or pretty much good Burning Abyss players, do is they go Farfa their own monsters. So they're going to go with Dante, make Downerd, and then they try and Farfa their Downerd. So now they get their Dante effect, getting something from the grave, and Downerd goes back in the end phase, but now it's not special summoned from the extra deck anymore, so Shaddoll Fusion isn't going to be live. And that's a trick that, of course, I knew of. And I actually had the Shaddoll Fusion in hand at that point, along with Krista, L Shaddoll Fusion, and D-Fusion. So a hand I couldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! With, which was my first loss of the day. I feel like this is appropriate. I wouldn't go 6 because, like I said, I'm already breaking them enough. So yeah. And L Shaddoll, or Shaddoll Fusion is absolutely garbage against Nekroz. And then the 1 Foolish, 1 Regeki, 1 Soul Charge, and 1 D-Fusion. Now this was purely once again based on theory, because I dedicated to the Krista play. Never happened. So yeah, that's fine. Didn't see it again in the mirror matches, which is annoying. But I did use it on one time on one of my own when I did draw it. It was actually for a window, so yeah, but whatever. I Shaddoll Fusion for window with Dragon and Squamata, attacked, defused, getting back my Dragon and Squamata, and that was actually a game because I already took some damage. So this kind of worked out in one instance, and with Shaddoll being the most represented deck in hindsight, this is actually a card that wasn't that bad in the main deck. It's just I didn't see those in my Shaddoll mirror matches. I actually cited the second one, so in game 2 and 3. I only got to game 3 once with my Shaddoll, but in game, if I didn't see the second one either. Soul Charge, never actually drew this, which is kind of unfortunate because I actually left it in against everything because of Krista. But then saw this at all. Yeah, that's another thing. That's just, you know, you're not going to win an event if you have a day like, or 2 days actually, like 10 rounds like I did. Definitely not with a build like this. Raigeki, I saw this in my opening hand a lot, actually, more than I would want to, because this doesn't actually do anything for you, but enables some OTKs, but then you'd have to have the perfect hand yourself, which I don't, just in general. And then Foolish Burial, which is a fine card, and I saw this enough in my opinion. I think I saw that like the amounts of time you should see a one-off. And it unclogs some of your brick hands, so Foolish, kind of good. Then, like I said, the Triple Call. This is definitely the card I saw most in my deck. I constantly had Call of the Haunted. I either had one, most of the time actually had two, and then too much of the times I had 3 Call of the Haunted. I mean, it was kind of decent, but only when you have a Scepter or when you went into a Fusion. And when you're opening like 2 or 3 Call of the Haunted, you don't have the resources to do that. So any time I opened like more than 1 call, I pretty much lost. But yeah, once again, this was on theory, and on theory it was good. It didn't work out in reality. Double mistake. I only saw this once, and then I actually saw both of them along with 2 Call of the Haunted and a Dragon, and that wasn't against Nekroz, so I absolutely got bodied, and that actually was against Ritual Beast. So I actually got bodied that match. I mean, I could shut off Kanahawk, but what's that going to do with you when you're only having a Dragon and nothing else? But yeah, of course, this was for Nekroz. But yeah, like I said, I didn't, which actually isn't that bad, because I did play a lot of decks in which I didn't want to draw these, and like I said, I didn't saw them at all. So, in hindsight, it actually wasn't that bad that I didn't see this at all, except for one game when I saw both of them. And I don't mean like opening them, I didn't draw them at all. And of course I did side them out quite a bit, but still. And on the 1 core and 1 emptiness. Core absolutely awesome. Still, emptiness. Once again, a card I didn't really see, so not much to say about emptiness, actually. Yeah, didn't see it a lot. Actually, I don't believe I cited it out a couple of times, so maybe that's why. The extra deck. So you have some of your tokens. Triple Construct, which I've actually needed. Best card ever. Double Shekinaga. So I actually was running only 1 Shekinaga for a while, and I had the Giant Hand in my side deck, but day before the event I decided to go with double Shekinaga, mainly because of Nekroz. Shekinaga is really good against Nekroz, and when you have your 1 Shekinaga in defense and they summon their Unicorn and they try and trish you, you can activate your Shekinaga. Now Unicorn wouldn't negate this, of course, but you can El Shaddoll your Shekinaga away for another Shekinaga. The first Shekinaga resolves, negating the Trish because it's no longer on the field, so it's unaffected by Unicorn, and you still have your big booty there. So that's pretty much the only reason I decided to go with 2 Shekinaga, because I'm only playing 2 Earth, only 2 Mathematician. I'm not playing Purpura anymore. So that's pretty much the only reason. I actually did go into 2 Shekinagas once. So I guess it worked out. I wouldn't have made, I didn't make any 2 level 4 rank 4s, you know, so the regular rank 4s as it is. So Giant Hand would have been absolutely worthless in that instant. Double Winda, made Double Winda. Anoyatilis, yeah, that's how you say it. El Shaddoll Anoyatilis, the Water Fusion. Never got to mate her, but I didn't want to dedicate at all, so I didn't play any Waters. I didn't play Nap Facial Fusion, for example. I did side Mind Control, which you'll see in a second, but I didn't draw that against the Nekroz matchups. So, yeah, I never made this, but I know it's just for the option. I actually kind of wanted to play 2 in the beginning, but I already figured out that I probably wouldn't go into her at all, because she can make it with core, of course. But yeah, it didn't happen, so in hindsight I'm kind of glad I only run the one. You could run two, because you, same reason with Shekanaga, if they book a clips the one so they can make their plays, you can El Shaddoll the one into the other, so they're still locked out of the game. But like I said, it didn't happen, so whatever. Leo, MVP, made him so often. Ouroboros, I actually made him once, and I made Deltaros once, because like I said, I did dedicate a lot to the Scepter play with the Call of the Haunted and Defusions and Soul Charge. So it actually did get the combo off, I just didn't open it, but I did get the combo off twice. Which I guess still isn't, especially when I dedicate my deck this much to that combo and only making it twice in 10 rounds. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it's absolutely terrible. It's whatever. And then the 1 diamond against the mirror match, if you can make this and put down or against Burning Abyss, I guess. Access and Level Chain and Castell. Level Chain once again, on paper it would be like a combo card when you can ditch Krista out to the grave and Call of Haunted back, you know, fun stuff, but didn't happen as well, because I didn't make any of these, never got into a situation in which I could or wanted to, actually, to be honest. So that's the extra deck. Side deck, double Denko Sekka. This actually did put in some work. Double Max C. This didn't, because I didn't draw this. Same for Lancia. Never saw these cards, so that's unfortunate. Triple MST. It was kind of alright. I only saw Shadow Impressing Mirror twice, but at that point I didn't draw the MSTs, but with the Star Seraphs or with Krista, or not Krista, damn it, what you call her? Construct. With Construct, you can play around against Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, so I actually won the games in which my opponent flipped Shadow Imprisoning Mirror without actually ever getting rid of it, but yeah, whatever. And I'm trying to think what this actually did for me, because I never hit a scout with it. I had to dragon all the scouts. I guess it's just in air to feel safe, but in theory, or in reality, it didn't actually do anything. The mind control sided this in a lot. Never drew this, but this is an amazing card in Shaddoll. Once again, theory, but I know that from experience as well, just not from my last nationals. Dark Hole. Never saw that, but it was mostly for the another Jin out, which I actually didn't need. I didn't get Jin locked without having it out. I got Jin locked, but then I had Regeki in hand. Like I said, I did draw Regeki a fair amount of times. Second Defusion, which I didn't see, like I said, and then Triple Mind Crush, which I didn't see. But only sided this in twice, so that's not that bad, I guess. So that's the entire deck. I was kind of happy with the side deck, although I didn't see most of it. But I did see Denko Sekka a fair amount of times, which is a good card against certain matchups. Main deck, like I said, I didn't like it. But I don't know if that is because it's actually bad or just because I drew garbage both days. But yeah, if you guys want to test like something like this, yeah, let me know how this worked for you. The event, the venue and all, it was all awesome. Had a blast there. Didn't go as well as I wanted to do, or didn't do as well as I wanted to do, but some of it was pretty much out of my control, to be honest. Yeah, I'll be at the European Championship in Dublin, playing Nekroz there probably, because it is the best deck and it's so consistent that I even feel like I can break an entire day with it. I feel like it, but you know, we'll see. Challenge accepted, I guess. So yeah, I'll be in Dublin and I'll try and make I'll try and get a decent result there. Maybe top 64 or something. First thing first, let's try and make it today too at least. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I don't have too many profiles from Nats anymore. I have one left, but that's another Nekroz deck profile, and I don't know, that might already been up. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.